And we've got a couple problems we're going to work through here. This first one says find the perimeter of the triangle. This is an equilateral triangle. Each of the sides is 18 centimeters. One of the things when you need to know about perimeter is that the perimeter is the distance around an object, a figure, a polygon, whatever it is. We'll say the distance around, we'll say a two-dimensional object. So a flat object. In this case, it's just the sum of the sides. So you just take 18 centimeters plus 18 centimeters plus 18 centimeters, or 3 times 18, because they're all the same. You can just multiply that by 3, and that would give us 3 times 18 would be 54. And so the perimeter in this case is 54 centimeters, and that's how long it is around this object. Now here we've got a circle, and when it talks about perimeter, I mean, I don't know if you really say perimeter for a circle, but the equivalent measure of a circle would be the circumference, and that's the distance around the circle. So we start right here and go all the way around. That's the distance around that figure, and so we call that the circumference for a circle. And I think it's interesting to note that the number pi is equal to the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. And so if you want to solve this for the circumference, we would just take both sides of this, and since you're dividing by the diameter, you can multiply by the diameter. So if we multiply both sides by the diameter, then one way to do this is to say that the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. And since the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius, you can take that 2 times the radius for the diameter and put that in here. And that would give you another way of writing the circumference, which would be 2 pi times the radius. And separate that out there. And so, because 2 times the radius is the diameter. Now, in this case, we're given the diameter. It's just 18. And so we would use this formula, because we know the diameter, and that would just be 18 inches times pi. And then we can plug, so this would be the exact value, except for that they have asked us to round to the hundredths place, or the 2 decimal places. And so we're going to plug that in to our calculator. We'll type in 18 here, and then we do the second function, and the raised to, there's the pi right there. Oops. Let's see, that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to go back, let's clear that once more. 18, and then I put second, and there's pi. Okay, so 18 pi, and then I just hit enter, and it'll put in the approximate value that it has for pi. And so that's 56.5, but this 4 is right by the 8, and so that rounds up to 5, so it's 56.55. So the circumference is 56.55. And once again, this is inches, so I'm going to put inches. And that would be the circumference here. Ok, ahora en español. El perímetro es la distancia. El perímetro de un objeto es la distancia alrededor de ese objeto. 2D se refiere a 2 dimensiones. Entonces, alrededor de un objeto de 2 dimensiones o un objeto plano. Entonces, aquí tú puedes ver de que tenemos 18 centímetros, 18 centímetros, 18 centímetros. Entonces suma 18 más 18 más 18. Pero sumar 18 tres veces es igual que multiplicar 18 por 3. Entonces 3 por 18 nos da 54 centímetros. Y así es. Pero cuando se habla del centímetro, o perdón, el perímetro de un círculo, normalmente no se dice perímetro, se dice circunferencia. Entonces la circunferencia de este círculo, cuyo diámetro es 18 pulgadas, 18 inches, hay que pensar de que el número pi es igual que la razón entre la circunferencia y su diámetro. Entonces, si se multiplica ambos lados por el diámetro, eso elimina el diámetro en el lado derecho. Entonces nos da que la circunferencia es diámetro por pi o pi por el diámetro. Eso es una de las fórmulas para la circunferencia. Otra fórmula, puesto de que el diámetro es igual que 2 veces el radio, se puede sustituir por el diámetro 2 veces el radio, y eso es otra fórmula para la circunferencia. Bueno, en este caso ya tenemos que el diámetro es 18, entonces podemos usar esta fórmula ahí, esta fórmula aquí, y se pone 18 en el lugar de d por pi o pi por d. Normalmente cuando lo escribimos con un número le ponemos el número adelante, 18 por pi, y cuando lo ponemos en la calculadora y redondeamos al lugar de las centésimas, sale que la circunferencia es 56.55 pulgadas. Muy bien, sigue para adelante.